very good afternoon to you. Thanks for clicking on to today's edition of the Longrange discussion for first-hand weather and climate through the eyes of Mark Vogan. Mark Vogan here, and we've got some 112 people now lost their lives across particularly eastern and southeastern parts of Europe, with severe cold actually further intensifying. We've seen temperatures, I believe, this morning in Kiev, in the Ukrainian capital, down below minus 30 degrees. Now, I could be wrong. I need to have a quick sift through the information, but from what I did see, that appeared to be the coldest temperature in over 100 years for Kiev. So a very, very significant cold. We really are seeing some outstanding cold, and unfortunately, that severe cold is killing people across parts of Europe, particularly homeless people, people who are exposed to those extreme temperatures. But certainly, we have got plenty more winter left in this pattern, folks, and I'm going to be showing you here the evolution of this kind of latter stage of this week's cold weather. The cold is not disappearing, folks, and in fact we have got snow in the forecast for parts of the British Isles over the next 72 hours. Where that snow will arrive, whether we're going to see that milder air win out, or whether the cold air will remain more persistent than expected, that is all big questions at the moment. But let's have a quick look off the ECMWF, the latest run, and you notice here, same old story. We've got the extent of this cold, this brutally cold air mass across pretty much all of the continent of Europe, even down into deep into Italy. We're seeing disruptive snow, potentially the coldest temperatures in some 30 years for parts of Italy, and we could even see snow. We've seen crippling snow at Bologna. That could extend further down through Rome and into Naples as well, right on the coastline of the central part of Italy. So quite stunning cold. What I'm noticing is, folks, is you notice here the cold remaining, particularly from the Midlands down towards Kent, and that is going to be the battleground. We're going to be seeing the attempt of milder air pushing in off the Atlantic. Now, I continue to struggle with the idea that this mild air is going to push in, kick out the cold air, and, you know, Bob's your uncle. We've got rain, milder conditions across parts of Scotland. I do not believe it's going to be as simple as that. Now, I said to you and explained to you yesterday in the blog, the video blog, that I believe the cold air is too firmly established in order for that mild air to push in and just kick it out. Now remember, like I said to you, cold air is denser than warm air. Therefore, as the milder air starts to make an attempt, pushes in towards the UK, that cold air, folks, is going to have a certain degree of sinking. As it sinks, the milder air will likely push up and over top of the cold air. Now, if you push moisture in over top, as that moisture falls, probably you know, as a mix of sleet, rain, and snow, as it falls through that lowest, you know, half or a mile of the atmosphere, that precipitation is going to fall as snow. Now, even parts of Scotland. Now, the latest BBC forecast is calling more for rain across parts of Scotland and more snowfall across parts of central and especially southern parts of England. Now, yes, I do believe we are going to see perhaps a few inches of snow by Saturday through the Midlands and into the southeast of England. We might see a little wave pushing in, some snowfall developing over the northern half of the Netherlands. That will push across through tonight and tomorrow off the north coast of the Netherlands and into the southeast of England. We might see some, you know, perhaps a little covering of snow, but certainly nothing significant. The biggest interest will be more later into tomorrow and into Saturday, where we could be seeing, of course, the battleground, the fight zone between the milder air, which I think, like I say, is going to ride up and over top of that colder air. I don't think the milder air is going to erode fully the cold air over the course of the weekend, even across parts of Scotland. I think we might see snowfall, but certainly I think the greatest chance of snowfall, you know, in a substantial, disruptive, pliable sense, will be from perhaps, you know, kind of Lancashire down through Cheshire into the Midlands and down towards the southeast of England. Parts of London as well might have a tricky drive during Saturday. So plenty of interesting things to look at. We have also a system pushing through parts of Italy as well. Rain right along the coastline, but even at that, folks, the cold air is firmly established, continuing to sink southwards as the system, of course, pulls in that cold air into the system itself. We could be seeing perhaps the likes of Naples, other coastal, typically milder communities across the Italian coastline. We may be seeing some significant snowfall. Certainly, as the moisture pushes more further north, we are going to see some pretty significant snowfall. But you notice here the cold, as I progress through the sequence, we are going to be looking at, let's see, for Friday. Notice here the core of the cold starting to push up into Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, into parts of southern Sweden, Finland as well. We are going to be seeing the coldest temperatures of the cold wave so far across this part of the world. Bone-chilling late week and weekend for this region. Notice here the core of the cold sweeping further north, covering the Baltic nations. We're going to be seeing significant icing over the Baltic Sea. So brutal conditions, but you notice here, good news is we're starting to see the conditions over southeastern parts of Europe, Ukraine, Bulgaria, Romania. They should start to see a slight modification of the cold. But remember, that cold firmly established, deep snow cover. That cold, even though it looks, according to the model, reasonably milder, it might take a tough time for the atmosphere to really start to chip away at that cold. Notice here the trough deepening into the northern part of Africa, the Atlas Mountains of Algeria, Morocco. You could be seeing significant snowfall here, and even some scant snow amounts elsewhere away from the Atlas Mountains. Cold across the majority of Spain, the majority of France, into the Low Countries. So the cold here, you notice, is transferring further west. Notice also the colder air hanging on across central and southeastern England. Temperatures across Scotland will gradually start to warm up, and I think by Sunday we will see the more significant warm up. Again, you see here the model predicting a more northwesterly flow. A lot of changes are taking place, folks. I don't think it's going to be as mild as many think. Notice here as well the cold covering the majority of western and central Mediterranean Sea. So we have got a lot of things to look at the moment. Of course, we have the snow across mainly the Midlands, southwards towards London, Kent. That will looks more likely. But like I said to you, I'm really struggling to buy into the idea that Scotland's going to see just rain. I think the cold is too deep, too firmly established. Tomorrow will be another cold day. The majority of places 2 to 4 degrees at the very best. Another cold night tonight. Parts of the West Midlands into Wales as well. Clear skies, light winds. We could be looking at temperatures down -8 to -12 Celsius. Severe cold. Anywhere where there's clear skies and light winds, you are going to see -5 to -10 quite widely away from the warmth and of towns and cities. So continue to keep checking back the first-hand weather, my blog as well, for the very latest updates. Bye for now.